Alright everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to build an AI agent that can pretty much scrape anything that you can think of, from LinkedIn leads to email addresses when you just have like a link of their website, to website content, to posts they have on social media. This is going to be the ultimate tutorial when it comes to scraping information from the internet using AI agents. And this video is going to be a little different than the way I usually do them. Often I have the automation ready beforehand just so I can save time and then I just walk you through it. But recently I got a hater which I've worked hard for, and I'm super happy I finally start having haters, man. You can't even believe it. And this guy, he was pretty much saying that I'm not building my own automations, and then I just basically steal them from other people that do, and then I showcasing them on my channel. So in this video, I'm gonna be proving this guy wrong once and for all. So we're gonna be diving into my computer here, and we're gonna be building everything from scratch. And this video is gonna be a little longer than usual, as you could probably figure out yourself, but it doesn't matter because by the end of it, we're gonna prove our hater wrong. And please, man, please, my hater, comment on this video as well. Bring your hater friends as well. You know, I've worked hard for this, man, and I always wanted to have haters, so I finally start having some. I'm super proud of it. But anyway, so let's dive in. I'm first gonna take a sip of this coffee just so I can get some extra focus, and I'm gonna light up this cigarette to gain unrealistic levels of focus. Or maybe I'm just addicted, bro, who knows? Probably know the answer. But anyway, so we're here on my computer, and the first thing I'm gonna pull up is gonna be N8N. So I'm gonna pull up N8N, I'm gonna log into my account, probably gonna put my face somewhere down in the corner. I'm gonna sign into my cloud account, and then we're gonna start building this agent one step at a time. And by the way, all the templates of these tools that I'm gonna be building today, I'm gonna leave inside of my free school community right here. So if you go to my school community, you click on Classroom, you go to Automation Templates, it's gonna be there. So all you have to do is just copy or download the JSON file and upload it in your own account, and you should be good to go. And another thing I wanna touch on before we get into this is that I just opened 3 spots for my one-on-one coaching program for the month of November. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna leave a link somewhere down below in the description. You can click on it and schedule a call with me and see if you're a good fit. The only thing is I wanna focus more on working with a certain type of person, which I know for a fact I can help. So if you're an industry insider, you've been in industry for a long time, maybe you operated your own business or you worked for a company for, let's say, 10, 15 years or something, and you see clear problems that they have or inefficiencies that you think an AI automation can actually go ahead and solve for them, then this is a kind of person I prefer to be working with and help you start your automations agency and penetrate that industry and make a lot of money from it. I only have 3 spots available, so if you're interested, go ahead, check it out, and no time wasters either. But anyway, so here I am in my N8N platform. So I'm gonna name this workflow, let's see. I'm gonna name it Scraper Agent. Okay, and then I'm going to set up a trigger. I'm gonna use a chat trigger for now. I'm not gonna be doing like the Telegram integration and all that stuff because I think it's gonna take too long for the video. We also don't need it. And then I'm going to add an AI agent right here. Boom, AI agent. This is going to be a tools agent. And then let's see. Okay, so tools agent, I'm going to add a chat model. I'm going to add GPT-4o, which is my favorite one. Let's find it. Okay. And the whole concept of this agent, guys, is that he's going to have access to different scraping tools that he's going to be able to call. And then those tools are going to be able to scrape certain information and update them or upload them on like Airtable or a Google Sheet. We'll see. So what I want to do now is put together a prompt for the agent. So your job is to call the tools you have available and get the job done based on your inquiry. And then I'm also going to give it input so it knows what kind of requests we're making from him. I'm going to save it. And now what I want to do is give it a quick chat, so we have some data passed through the agent, so then we can kind of play around with it. So I'm going to say, find me 10 leads. Actually, find me 10 CEOs in the real estate industry from California. I'm gonna say that, and then obviously the agent didn't work. Please connect one tool. Yep, of course it didn't work because he has no tools, but we don't care about that, because what I want to do right now is give it the chat input. Okay, perfect. So now I want to save this, and then I'm also going to leave this agent right now, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the tool. So I'm going to go back home. Yes, I want to save this, and then I'm going to write scraper tool. And for the sake of this example, guys, I'm going to be building a tool that can scrape LinkedIn leads using N8N, make.com, and Apify. So if you're not familiar with that, then stick until the end to find out how this works. So because we want the agent to be able to call this tool, we're going to use this execution trigger right here. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go back home. And now I want to transfer data from the agent to the tool, just so we can play around with it and set everything up. So I'm going to connect this tool to the agent. So I'm going to name it, I think we named it scraper tool. Rename, I'm going to give it another name, scraper underscore tool. Oh, no spaces, boom. Then I'm going to say, call this tool to scrape leads. Scrape leads, perfect. Source, database, and now I'm going to basically connect the tool right here, and the field to return is going to be response. I'm going to save it, and now I'm gonna give it a chat. So I'm gonna say, find 5 leads, or find 5 owners of real estate companies in California. Okay, so it's not supposed to work right now, so we don't care about that. All right, so it tried to call the tool, obviously it didn't work. However, what I'm going to do now is go back to the scraper tool, and then I'm going to go to executions, and then I'm going to copy the JSON that we just sent, and then I'm going to, oh shit, copied everything. And then I'm going to pin it to the, I'm going to pin it to this agent, or this tool, sorry. So it knows what kind of query he's supposed to receive. So I'm gonna paste it here, boom, I'm going to save it, perfect. So now this tool basically just transferred the data from the agent to this tool. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use an OpenAI module that parses the data, because we want a specific output format. So I'm going to come here, message an assistant, message a model, that's what we want. And then I'm going to say, parse the data from the input, and always input, and always output the following parameters without ever changing their name. Boom. And then I'm gonna say parameters, and what we want right now is we want the position, we also want the industry, and then the location. We also want the number of leads. For some reason it didn't come through, so I'm gonna need to send it some data again. But number of leads, then we want the position, then we want the industry, and then we want the location, and then the input data is going to be the query. Input data is going to be this query right here. Boom. Okay. Message a model. I'm going to choose GPT-4o for this one. Output content as JSON, and then I have to go back again and make sure that the agent is also sending the number over, because right now it's not. So go to the scraper agent, and now I need to change the prompt a little bit right here. Your job is to call the tools you have available and get the job done based on your inquiry. Always send the query to the tool as it is without making any changes to it. Make sure you include everything. Boom. And now I think it's going to be fine. So let me save it. Let me try one short test again. So I'm going to say generate me 10 leads, 10 owners of real estate companies in California. All right, just wait for this. Of course, didn't work. Now let's go back, scraper tool, go to executions, and let's see if it passed all the data this time. Okay, so here we have the data. So now I'm going to copy this JSON. I'm going to go to the editor, and now I'm going to pin it right here. So I'm going to change the data that we've pinned. Make sure we unpin it first, and then set new mock data. Boom, paste. Okay, so here we are. So now I'm going to save this, and now let's test this node right here. Make sure everything outputs in the correct format. Okay, so we have number of leads, position, industry, we have location, and that's pretty much all we need. So guys, what we want to do now, this is where it gets a little tricky, so bear with me, I'm going to walk you through it. So instead of building this whole tool on N8N, we're going to use make.com, because make actually has certain native integrations that N8N doesn't have, for example, Apify. So instead of us setting up like APIs and everything here on N8N, we're just going to use make, which is going to be much simpler and quicker to set up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use Apify. If you're not familiar with Apify, it's basically a developer's platform that has a bunch of pre-built tools in it that you can actually go ahead and use. A lot of those tools are actually scrapers. So let me also show you that. So let's go to Apify. I want to show you some of the tools that they have on there because they're very interesting. So let's just wait for this to load. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go to the store, and you can see the way they call their tools are basically actors, but they have a bunch of them and they run on the online server, and you can pretty much call them with your own automation. So you can see here website content crawler, Google Maps extractor, Facebook post scraper. It has a bunch of different scrapers. For today, we're going to use this one, I think, LinkedIn companies and profile bulk scraper. I have already used it before, so it's supposed to be somewhere here on my actors. Yep, this one right here. So what this does, it basically scrapes LinkedIn profiles and companies, as well as all the information that they have on their accounts. And then you can use this data to do whatever you want with it. And then as you can see here, you can filter based on location, keywords. You can add as many keywords as you like. But for now, we're going to keep it super simple and lean. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, create a new scenario. LinkedIn lead scraper, and then N8N tool, just so I know that I'm supposed to connect it. And now I'm going to set up a webhook to this tool right here. So it's going to be a custom webhook. Create a webhook, save. I'm going to copy this address right here, and then I'm going to click OK. And now we're going to go back to our tool, and we're going to add an HTTP request module. Here it is, HTTP request. The method is going to be post, because we want to send data, or we want to send this data to the make scenario. We don't require any authentication. Then I'm gonna set up the body. So we have the number of leads, and then I'm going to drag and drop this right here. Then we have the position. So we're gonna drag and drop this, boom. I'm going to also add the industry and then the number of or the location. So industry. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the location. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you about Apify. It's pretty useful. There are a bunch of stuff on here, guys. And when it comes to building your own scrapers, if you ever try that, that's going to be a massive pain in the ass. And whenever a website makes like even a minor change on it, then your scraper is going to pretty much break. So instead of building your own scrapers, you can use existing scrapers from here, which can save you a lot of time. So I'm going to run this webhook once, just so I can send data over. So I'm going to test this step. Okay, data accepted. And you can see here we have a bundle, number of leads 10, owner, real estate, California. So what I'm going to do now is connect my Apify, which I already have the integration on it. If you don't, then all you have to do is go here to Apify and get your API key. It's somewhere in here, man. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it should be pretty easy to find it. Get your API key and then come here. You want to click run an actor. And now we want to use the right one. So which one do we want? LinkedIn Premium Actor Bebity. I think that's the one. Yeah, or Bebity. I don't know how that's called, but I think that's the one we want. So I chose that, and then input JSON. Here is what you want to do. So you want to first configure the kind of settings or filters you want to be using for your tool on Apify, and then you want to come here where it says JSON. And now you want to copy this JSON code and paste it in your make.com module. So you can see here the keywords are obviously the industry, the position, the number of leads we want, as well as the location. So let me go ahead and paste and copy this. So boom, I'm going to copy it, and now I'm going to paste it right here. And now you want to change these variables or these hard, coded variables with actual variables that come from the webhook, just so we can manipulate them in real time. So I'm going to first start with the industry. So here it's going to be the industry, then here is going to be the position, and then here is going to be the number of leads that we want. So number of leads, and then the location is going to be right here. So location, boom, and that should be it, man. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run it once just to make sure everything is working. Obviously right now it's going to run on the web server, so we're not going to have any data come back to our make scenario, but we're still going to be able to see if it's working from the Apify site. So let's try that. I'm going to need to do the test again right here, and then as you can see, this is working. Let's go back to runs. You can see it's currently running. So it's basically running this scraper with the parameters that we've sent, and it should populate how many leads. So 10 different leads. So let's wait for it and see. We're gonna go to output once it finishes. It usually takes like a minute or something, and then we're gonna be able to see all the leads that it came up with and their information. And then we're gonna get that data. We're gonna pass it through our make scenario again, and then we're going to set up a Google Sheet, so it uploads everything on that sheet, it organizes it fine, and then we get the link of that Google Sheet and we return it back to our agent or our tool, so it can send it to our agent as a response. And then all we have to do is just tell it that we want leads, and it returns back a Google Sheet link that we can click on, and then we have all our leads right there. So let's see if this was completed. Okay, so output, you can see it right here. For some reason it got 20 leads, but I guess that still works. I'm not exactly sure why. Let's see right here. So number of leads, limit, maybe this should be in like brackets or something. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna run it once more because I'm not sure why it got me 20 leads when I only asked for 10 leads. Not that that's a problem or anything, but you know, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to do exactly what I want. So you can see here the URL profiles of each person. So if I click on this one, it's gonna take me to LinkedIn. So you can see commercial leader, debt, equity, construction management, real estate investments. And guys, you can configure this any way you like. It comes down to the scraper you use. And of course, another thing that you can do is combine different tools together. So you have one that gets the leads, then you have another one that scrapes their website, let's say, and then you have another tool that writes like a personalized email, and then you have another tool that sends out personalized email. For now, for this video's sake, I'm just gonna focus on scraping. So let's try to run it again and see if now it gets us the amount of leads that we want. So I'm gonna test this. Okay, so it turns out these brackets shouldn't be here, so I'm going to remove them. Okay, and now let's see if it's okay now. I'm still not sure why it gets us more leads than we want. If you have any idea, let me know. But anyways, it still doesn't matter for now. We're good. Here you can see the leads it generated. Now let's go on and figure out a way to get this data from the server of Apify and send it back into our make.com scenario. So the way we're going to do this is I'm gonna click here on Apify, and we're gonna choose this module right here that is called Get Dataset Items. So I'm gonna click on it, and what it needs the dataset ID. So let me find it. It must be somewhere here. By the way, let me move this a little bit on the side so you can also see my face. I'm gonna put it right here. So do you see anywhere dataset ID, man? Dataset ID. So have ID, asset ID, started ID. I want the dataset ID. Where is it? Dataset ID, build number. Okay, here it is. So this is going to be the dataset ID, and now it knows that this is the data we are asking for. So I'm going to click OK. Another thing that I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to add a sleep module right here, just because we want to give the server enough time to complete the scraping before Make calls the next module. Otherwise, it's still gonna get the leads, but it's not gonna be able to send them back to us via the get data module on Apify. So I'm gonna have it sleep for like, I think 30 seconds should be enough. If this doesn't work, we're gonna increase it a little bit. So this should be okay. Now let's try doing one more run. Make sure everything works fine. Let me see if there's a way I can test this step alone. So first, let me copy the dataset ID from here because it's gonna ask me for it. So dataset ID, and now let's see if it can get us the data. So default dataset ID, boom. And now let's see if this works. And as you can see, here are all the leads that it generated. So this one is Michael Apodaka. Hope I'm not butchering his name, but here he is, this guy. And you can also see him, the first lead on the Apify website. So let's go back to our make scenario and get it over with. So what we want to do now is you want to get this data and have it populate on a Google Sheet. So I'm going to choose a Google Sheet right here. And then what I want is add a row. But first, we're actually going to have to create the Google Sheet that we want. So let's come here to my drive. I'm going to create a Google Sheet. I'm going to name it Make X N8N LinkedIn Leads Sheet. Well, that name could have been smaller or shorter, but and now what we want is the first name of the lead. We want the last name of the lead. We want their LinkedIn URL. And then we also want to scrape their about section, just in case we want to somehow use that information that they have there to maybe write like a personalized message or anything like that. So let me just fix that because it bothers my OCD man so badly. Okay, so first name, last name, LinkedIn URL, and then the about page. Do you think we're gonna need anything else? No, I think that's gonna be fine. So now I'm going to choose the spreadsheet ID. Light up this cigarette. By the way, guys, if you're still watching this, make sure you leave me a like, man, and subscribe to my channel. Half of you people, maybe even more, like 70% of the views I get, you're not subscribed to my channel yet. You're watching every video I put out. What are you doing, man? Come on, go ahead, click that subscribe button. And as I said, if you want this template right here, as well as the agent template and the tool template on N8N, make sure you go ahead and you join my free school community. We're almost at 400 members right now, man. It's crazy. I started like a couple of weeks ago, 393 members. So it's growing pretty fast. And it's very interesting, guys. That's also a place where you can ask me questions. Yeah, so I'm gonna connect the school community, make N8N. Okay, this one. This is a spreadsheet, and now I'm going to choose spreadsheet 1. Yes, it does contain headers. Oh man, I'm gonna actually put my face here then, because this is kind of like you're not going to be able to see this. But yes, table contain headers, and what I want to do right now is pass the variables from Apify. So the first name right here, then we have the last name right here. Then we have the LinkedIn URL. I think this is the one. And then we also want their about section as well. So where is that? About section, and we specifically want the text in their about section. So I'm going to put it right there. And that should be okay. So if we run this step, it's supposed to populate our Google Sheet with the data that Apify scraped. Yeah, that should be pretty much it, guys. So what we want to do now, before we send a webhook response back to the scraper tool on N8N, all we want to do is we want to get a link of this sheet right here, just so it makes things more convenient, right? So I'm going to click on Google Drive, and I'm going to find the, where is it? Get a share link, this one. And then I'm going to get the link file ID. I'm going to use the spreadsheet ID right here. I'm going to give the role reader permission or owner permission, it doesn't really matter. And then email address, I'm just going to put my email address right here. Impact lives, impact income. I don't really use this one, guys, so please don't spam me with your promotional messages, especially you guys from India who want to edit my videos or send me thumbnails for free. I'm not interested, bro. Okay, unless you're doing super high quality job or work, and then yeah, shoot me a DM on Instagram if that's the case. But that's I think that should be good. Let's see if it gets the spreadsheet ID. Let's see if we can actually like get the data or get the share link. So where is the spreadsheet ID? Where can I find it? Well, I can find it from here. So I think the ID is going to be this part. I'm not sure, but let's see. So spreadsheet ID. And then I want to run this step to make sure that it can get me the link that I want. No, that was not the ID, guys, but whatever, it still works. I'm sure it works. We're going to test it later on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a webhook response. And now the body is pretty much going to be the share link of the the Google Drive, and then I think that should be fine. So let's see. What I'm going to do now is go back here to N8N, and now I'm going to set the response field, which is going to be an edit fields, and then I'm going to type response. And the value of this is going to be the data that is sent back to the HTTP request. Obviously, if we run it right now, it's not going to have the URL because I haven't tested it yet. but this is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to run this scenario right here, and then I'm going to send data to it from this data that we've pinned right here, and then I'm going to unpin the data so we can do like a custom request to it and see if it works from the chat. So let's go here to make. We can see everything is working fine right now. The actor is generating or scraping the leads, and it's waiting before it sends the data back to the get dataset items module, just because we want to make sure that it has enough time to generate the data first. Otherwise it's going to time out. So bear with me until everything gets done. So this didn't work for some reason. This did work, but not completely. Let's see what the issue is, guys. So add a row. Okay, so it did add a row, and then this one, what was the problem? The send notification email parameter is only applicable for permissions type user. Okay, so let's change the permissions then. Let's keep it to reader permissions. The email I think is fine. Impact lives, impact income. I think everything is fine, man. So let's see. And I also want to know why it only outputted like one updated rows. Why did it upload only one lead here? I'm not exactly sure why that's the case, but you can see at least it worked for one. But let's go ahead and see. So the right here it outputted. Let's go to input. Okay, so let's go back here, runs. So this was the latest run I think we did, 1047. So I think that was it. So let's just click on it. Let's go to output. And you can see here it generated 20 leads, but for some reason it only updated one here on the sheet. So maybe it didn't send all the... Okay, so here I can see that it did send everything. So the issue must be somewhere here then. So first name, table contains headers. Yeah. Okay. All right, so then the webhook, what was the problem? Automatic failure response was sent to the webhook. Let's run it once more and see what the problem is. So what's the issue? The service was not able to process the request. So yeah, of course, because it didn't finish the automation. But so post authentication. This is the right webhook, of course. None. So we send body parameters using fields below. Let's run another test, guys. So it's supposed to get us 10 leads or 10 owners. And by the way, maybe the reason it only sends like it generates 20 because that might be the minimum amount that I have it set here in the scraper. So let me go ahead and no. So the limit of result per query is 10. Max rows to return per query item. If limit is 5 and keywords contains 2 items, it will return 10 rows. But anyways, so let's see if it works now. Okay, so it seems like, all right, so now I think it worked fine. As you can see, it generated all the leads right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's still adding more, so it's still gonna get us 20. But let's see if we got the right response right here. Yeah, so you can see the drive link. It's this one right here. So if I go ahead and I paste it, let's see, it's supposed to open this. No. I don't want the brackets, man. And by the way, guys, I have a question for you. If anyone knows how I can buy more Google Drive space, I only have like a gigabyte left, and I've been trying to figure out a way to buy gigabytes for a long time now, and I just can't seem to figure it out. So if you know how that works, let me know in the comments. But yeah, everything is fine, guys. So you can see we initiated the tool on N8N. It sent the data to OpenAI, it parsed it, so we got the separate outputs, and then those outputs were sent to the make.com webhook right here, the position, the industry, the location, and the number of leads that we want. And then it initiated the make.com scenario because the webhook received data. So that data went into the Apify actor. So it populated here the industry, position, the number of leads that we want, the location. It waited 30 seconds, and then we got the data back from the get dataset items module, and then we posted that data in Google Sheets. So you can see it ran 20 operations. I'm still not sure why it's getting us more leads than what we asked for, but you know, I don't know the reason. If you do, let me know. And then it generated the Google Drive link, and then it sent it back as a response to our N8N scenario. Okay, but then why did it send all that stuff though? User, reader, spreadsheet ID. Yeah, it's the same one, right? Yeah, so file ID, spreadsheet ID is the same one. Okay, everything seems fine, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to unpin this data right here. So I'm going to unpin it. I'm going to save this tool, and then I'm going to go back to the scraper agent. And now I'm going to send it a request directly through the chat, and let's see if it works now. So I'm going to run this scenario, so it's waiting data. And of course, in a real world scenario, you would just have it running all the time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat, and I'm going to say, generate me 10 CEOs in the solar industry from California. Okay, so now it's supposed to call the tool. So let's see. It's probably going to take some time to return the URL, but let's see. Okay, this scenario is running on Make. So it's waiting right now on Apify. It seems like everything is fine. The scraper is being executed in real time. You can see here the amount of results that it's generating. So 4 results, 10 results. It's been 22 seconds. And then it's going to send the data. And what I want to receive in the chat is the URL of the Google Sheet, or the Google Sheet, so we can click on it. Okay, so here it says I have generated a list of 10 CEOs in the solar industry from California. You can access the list through the following link right here. So if I click on it, it's supposed to open up this doc, as you can see, which it does. So here are all the leads that we've generated so far, guys. And then the beauty of this is, and I'm not going to do it in this tutorial, but the beauty of it is now you can set up a different tool, or maybe a multi-agent setup. So you have one agent that gets the leads, you have another agent that scrapes maybe their website or scrapes their social media content, and then it writes a personalized email and it sends it to them. There are a lot of things you can do. You can build competitor analysis tools with scrapers. I mean, the sky's the limit, guys. So this is what I wanted to show you in this tutorial. Again, if you enjoyed it, drop me a like. If you're a hater, hate me, bro. Please hate me in the comments, bash me, say whatever you want to say about me. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, because hate only comes from below. At least that's what they say. Yeah, guys, join my free school. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, book a free call below. And especially if you meet the criteria that I listed in the beginning. And I'll see you in another video. Thanks.